Hello, welcome back to NVfineARTstudio. I'm Nina and today I would like to talk about the importance of water in watercolor. Water is the lifeblood of watercolor painting. It plays a crucial role in achieving its distinctive characteristics that makes this medium so enchanting. But many artists, especially beginner artists, are afraid to use water, and not just beginner artists, experienced artists as well, because the more experience you get, the more you know about watercolor and the tighter you get with the application of watercolor. But watercolor is not about that. Watercolor is all about the use of water for the enhancement of the feel of the medium and the feel of the final painting. So today let's talk about why water is so important, how to use it in watercolor painting, and also I'll give you a couple of tips of how to overcome the fear of water. First and the foremost is the dilution and transparency. By adding water into the pigment, into watercolor, you dilute the pigment. This allows you to control the mixture. You get the transparency, the vibrancy, and the darkness. And the control of the mixture, how light, how dark, how vibrant it gets, it gives you the opportunity to create a dimension, to create depth in your painting, to put things way out of the focus or bring closer to us. Second is flow and blending. Water in watercolor is one of the most unique things in comparison to other mediums. Water allows pigments to flow and blend seamlessly on paper on its own. You basically don't need to do anything. You just put water on the paper, add some pigment, and it disperses, and it creates a variety of different edges, from completely uncontrolled to controlled to soft edges. You can create beautiful organic shapes and natural looking scenes. Third point is wet on wet. The wet on wet technique is obviously well known. It is application of the paint on wet surface. The crucial part here is to control the amount of pigment in the water, the consistency, and also to observe the wetness of the paper. It is probably the most difficult thing in watercolor and takes a lot of experience and practice, but just with a little bit of practice you can achieve great results. And this is also most feared aspect. But if you forget about the final result, if you just enjoy the process, if you start to observe what's happening on the paper and just play with water and the pigment, it should inspire you to play more and observe more rather than to focus on the final result. Because as soon as you start thinking about the final result, usually it just restricts you, puts you in a cage because you're afraid to make a mistake. And painting watercolor is not about that. It's a quick medium, you can achieve results very quickly, so if something doesn't go right, you can just put it in a rubbish bin and start over again. Another thing is layering. Layering is when you use a lot of water and just a little bit of pigment in your mixture, and you put layer on top of the layer on top of the layer, and this is how you achieve the darkness and depth in your painting. You also can vary the temperature of the mixture, so you can start with blue, then you can start adding yellow glazing, pink glazing, red glazing, any color you wish, and you achieve different effects. The vibrancy. The most important part in glazing is the layers. They need to be transparent, hence the lot of water in the mixture. Also, by varying the temperature, using different colors like pink and blues and yellows, layer on top of layer, you will be able to achieve luminosity and sense of light. Next point is control and precision. Obviously, you don't always use a lot of water when you paint. Usually you start with a lot of water, and then when you progress, the mixtures usually get thicker and darker, and as the mixtures get thicker, you get more control of your brushwork. In general, more water results in looser painting. That's why I absolutely love water. I always use a lot of water, but less water gives you very good, rich, dark mixtures. And this is also very important to have this balance between a lot of water, fluid, soft washes, and then on top of that, you paint with dark, thick mixtures, more precise brush marks, dry brush marks, and things like that. And this contrast usually is very, very interesting for the viewer. It also creates very interesting effects such as depth, light, atmosphere. Another point is creating texture. Water is absolutely crucial for creating granulating effect. Without water, there is basically no granulating effect. I have a lot of videos where I do granulation for the effect, so if you're interested, I will link a couple of videos in the description down below. Another important point is atmospheric effect. Water is key to achieving atmospheric effect in your painting, such as mist, fog, reflection in the water. You can achieve this effect by manipulating the ratio of water to paint in the mixtures, also by painting wet on wet, and also by using a spray bottle to create random softness in your painting. This effect is absolutely crucial to create a sense of believable painting, atmospheric painting, a painting that is alive and not just a pretty picture on the paper. And obviously also to create a sense of mood and sense of depth in your painting. Quite often I reserve atmospheric feel to the clouds, to the background, and sometimes to the very, very foreground, to take it out of the focus, to take it out of the view, and I reserve all the sharpness and richness in contrast for the focal area. So this atmospheric effect is something that is easily achieved in watercolor, not as easily in other mediums. It's basically watercolor is made for this. Watercolor is made for creating atmosphere, looseness, and things like that. I know I listed quite a few things, and I probably have gone over the entire theory of watercolor in a very short amount of time, but these are key points to remember why you need water in your painting. Mastering of water in watercolor allows to unlock full potential of watercolor painting and create truly captivating works of art. Now let's go and do a little painting, a little exercise, and see how it all works on practice. And after that, when we finish the painting, I'll give you a couple of tips on how to avoid, how to be not afraid of using water in your painting. Hope this was informative. Hope you learned something new today. Until my next video. Goodbye.